us right now. Bernie, were you asked to sign this?
The truth is, I was asked to sign it, and I said yes, and they didn't put my name down. I don't know. It may be a Jewish thing. I'm not sure.
Well, you're not on here.
Either way, I'm not on it, but I should have been on there because, you know, business is not politics. It's not Republican. It's not Democrat. It's business, and we've seen the last 3.5 years that this administration is not very friendly to business, which means it's not friendly to creating jobs. Look, you can read it any way you want. I know that in speaking to businessmen all over the country, and I do speak to a lot of these people, they're terrified about the next 4 years, and they should be, rightfully so. They're worried about Obamacare, which they're terrified of. I use the word terrified, I mean it. Most of them don't have a clue of what they're going to do. They're worried about their banking. They know that with Dodd-Frank that many of the community banks are going to be out of business, and they'll be remaining with just the big giants on Wall Street. There are so many issues out there, Neil, that the small business guy is worried about, and that's why we don't have jobs in America today. It's as simple as that. You don't have to be a rocket scientist, which some of these people obviously think you can, and rhetorics don't do it, great speeches don't do it. You have to be able to change those regulations, get the ERA off people's backs, get the NLRB off people's backs, get the IRS off people's backs, and you'll see jobs created.
You know, you could look at the list, though, when I looked through it, Bernie, and said that these are not small or medium-sized business guys. These are titans. These are guys like yourself who have a lot of bucks. A good many of them are billionaires. I mean, we've got Nelson Peltz, we've got Lori Moffat, we've got Morris Smart, Dan Lufkin, Steve Lasso. Now, I could go on and tell and explain who these people are. Suffice it to say that most of them are the cream of the crop, right? So it's almost like an ad. The cream of the crop loves Mitt Romney. So that could cut both ways, right? I mean, you could say, all right, well, they've got their nose out of joint with the president who they say doesn't represent or fairly depict them. So it could boomerang, right? Then the president would say, well, if I had to tick anyone off, I'm okay doing that with these guys because I'm looking out for you guys. How do you think Mitt Romney should respond to that?
Well, you know, these are the only people that have the access to the media. A small guy that owns 3 restaurants, you don't think in a million years he's going to get on your show or get into the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times or anywhere else. I mean, he has no voice out there. That's why we started something called the Job Creators Alliance, which really represents the small business people in America. They don't have a voice, and therefore somebody has to speak for them. Look, Neil, I remember when I was a small business guy, back in 78, 79, we started Home Depot. We went through all of these problems. I remember 5 or 6 years of living through, you know, worrying about paying the bills, worrying about paying the lights, cutting the air conditioning off in the middle of the day to save money so we could pay our bills. I remember all of those things, and I haven't forgotten about it, and most of those people had the same kind of experience. So we're kind of representing what the small business guy is going through, who right now, as I said to you, who is he going to talk to? Nobody's going to listen to them. Nobody's going to be interested in it. A man that works out there and has, you know, 150 people working for him, he doesn't have a lobbyist in Washington taking his case before the Congress. He doesn't have people who go to bat for him. He struggles every day to make his bills and keep the 150 people he's got working on his staff. And he is concerned because let me tell you a couple of things they've told me. When Obamacare comes down the pike, they're probably going to let go of people. If they become unionized, they're going to let go of people. Many of them have no plans
in this environment, then Bernie, in this environment tonight, could you do what you did then? I mean, if you had to start Home Depot now in this environment, you started Home Depot with Ken and others in a very tough environment then. You think you could do the same now?
No, there is no way. I could give you details about it, but I can tell you there is no way that Home Depot could ever be what it is today. It's got 300,000 employees. Look, I'm not with the Home Depot anymore. I resigned. I retired back in 2002. But I can tell you there are 300,000 people that would not be with jobs today if we had the same environment and tried to start the Home Depot today. Isn't that a tragic thing to talk about? That is terrible.
Amazing.
And this is what we're leaving for our children now. And if we have 3 more years, 4 more years of this administration with their philosophies, Home Depots will not be able to grow. I mean, it'll happen in the internet.
I do want to take a little bit of attention
kind of
but I do want to say, here's what's remarkable about the Home Depot phenomenon. You started this, and you weren't remotely handy. I never realized that. You had not a handy cell in your body, which I admire all the more, that you did this, and
why do you have
apparently there was a need
to
for
tell
that.
people about that?
No, I mean, I just thought, you know, if I started an Italian restaurant chain, people would say, well, that figures, we could see that. But when you started Home Depot, you didn't know a Phillips from, is it a non-Phillips? Yeah. All right, a flathead. So I admire that greatly, Bernie.
Actually,